Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. First one comes from Prize Ad 3917. Am I the beehole for asking my fiance to skip this year's Christmas family vacation because our baby is due? Context. I've gone to Florida with his family for the past 5 years for at least part of Christmas. Every other year, I return before him to spend Christmas Day with my family. This year is the first time in a long time that the other siblings are able to overlap dates. My fiance has major FOMO, which this is why it's a sensitive subject. His parents have always been weird about keeping their family close. They've never said it outright, but little things suggest they don't consider me completely a part of their family yet, since we aren't married. Also, my parents are away overseas, dealing with a grandparent emergency. My mom has been kept in the loop, though, and is trying to come back as soon as she can. My fiance and I, a 31-year-old male and a 31-year-old female, are expecting our first baby, due December 30th. His family has a vacation home in Florida, and they've gone every year during the holidays for about a month until after the new year. He agreed not to go this year because of the baby, but his family is insisting that he can go and come back on the 28th, which is ample time before the baby is due. So he bought a ticket for December 15th through the 28th. His reasoning is that his parents really want him there and his siblings will also be going. This is bothering me a lot more than I thought, because I know pregnancies are unpredictable, especially in the last trimester, and if anything happens leading up to the due date, I need him there. My parents are away until December 26th, and my friends have their families. So, I will be completely alone. The other reason, and I guess it's more selfish, is that I'll be spending Christmas by myself. It's not the main reason why, but I'm bothered. It's a small part of it. He's been spending Christmas every year in Florida since he was 15, and there will be many more trips after the baby is born. I don't know why he has to go this year. Anytime I bring it up, it results in a very uncomfortable fight about my expectations to put me first rather than his parents. I don't even bring it up anymore. His parents have always been kind to me, but they don't also see any problem, so I think I'm going crazy. Am I the beehole here? And we have a little a little update. Wow, I wasn't expecting this many responses, and I can't personally thank you all, but thank you all so much for all your support and responses. It means a lot, and I definitely plan on showing him this thread. Hi OP, I'm gonna say you're not the beehole, and your husband, your fiance's family's kind of the beehole, because yeah, you're pregnant with your first child, and pregnancies are unpredictable. I believe I came a whole day early. My mom even told the doctor I was coming early, and the doctor didn't believe her. So yeah, you might be screwed and being there alone and having to give birth to your child a couple days early, a day early, because yeah, pregnancies are not, 100% down perfectly on what day they're gonna come. And yeah, your fiance is going to have to put you first because you're pregnant with your first child and nobody wants to be alone giving birth. So I think you shouldn't go and shouldn't risk it. It sounds like you're going to show him this thread, and I hope that changes his mind. And congratulations on having a baby. And our next one comes from Melodic Links 6493. Am I the beehole for boycotting my sister's wedding since she accused my wife of fraud? I, a 35-year-old male, come from an intellectually pretentious family. I married into a very blue-collar family, though out of my adult life, my older sister, age 38, has always disapproved of my partners. I met my wife when she was in college and I was in the Navy. My sister immediately disliked the bubbly and unfiltered college girl and determined my future wife was untrustworthy and dragging me down. 4 years ago, my wife suffered a traumatic brain injury. It occurred right around the time we conceived our second child, so we chalked it off to dizziness, headaches, and other symptoms to her pregnancy. Nearly a year postpartum, the symptoms hadn't improved, and she started scheduling medical appointments to get it checked out. At this point, she was in the Navy, I was separated, and in grad school. Over the next 18 or so months, my wife endured an endless slog of appointments, tests, exams, consultations, more tests, more consultations, until it was finally determined that my wife has a rare neurological condition. That I don't fully understand. She was medically retired and classified as a disabled vet. During this whole process, my sister's way of being supportive was to tell me it's probably nothing and not to worry about it. This past weekend, I was chatting with my sister. My wife had gotten a holiday job delivering packages, but called out on Black Friday to stay at her parents' longer. My sister made a comment about my wife suddenly being sick when she doesn't feel like working, and claimed my wife has done the same thing to get medically retired from the Navy. As is the habit in my family, I replied with equally snarky jabs, reminding my sister, who is a neurologist, I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, that my wife's injured her head, not her kidneys, and she doesn't know what she's talking about. My sister claimed it took long because my wife's doctor was shopping for the diagnosis she wanted. I told her if I got paid what she did to sit in an office and say keep doing dialysis, I wouldn't have any personal days either. I had confronted my sister and my mother in the past about their accusations that my wife was milking the system and needed to suck it up. After some very heated exchanges, they had gotten better about keeping their thoughts to themselves, a feat with my family. But this one pulled no punches. My sister's getting married in September, and I told her unless she apologized and admit she doesn't know anything about my wife's medical history, we won't be in attendance. Is boycotting my only sibling's wedding an overreaction? Am I the beehole for choosing the wedding as an event not to attend when it's such an important day to her? Hi, OP. I'm definitely going to say you're not the beehole. Your sister's the beehole, and it sounds like you're being a good husband protecting your wife's mental health like that. I don't know if not going to the wedding is the right decision. Personally, I'm not fond of weddings, so I would use anything I could to get out of that, so it looks like a win to me. But if someone disrespected someone I love like that, I wouldn't want to attend any of their gatherings either. So I would say, yeah, keep it up, keep doing what you're doing, and if she apologizes, sure, go, but don't leave your wife alone anywhere over there at that wedding if you end up going. Our next one comes from Few Maranberry, 8502. Am I the beehole for telling my sister-in-law that if her service dog can't ignore children, he's not a service dog? I have two kids, an 11-year-old male and a 9-year-old female. My sister-in-law has a service dog who's been with her for about 6 months now. He is 18 months. It was my son's birthday party last weekend, which she was at, and obviously had the whole ton of young kids running around, rioting around my house. My daughter also has two friends over, younger siblings of the boys, as well as our pets. All in all, there was 9 children. 3 dogs and a cat causing chaos. At one point, one of our rabbits escaped and was running around too. My sister-in-law's dog couldn't cope. He was so excited and wasn't paying any attention to her. My daughter and her friends said hi to him, but otherwise left him alone. He was losing his crap at the whole time, and my sister-in-law had to leave. My son was a little upset, but overall didn't mind. Just asked that she could come over for the mini birthday. Yesterday was that mini birthday. It was much quieter, just the family. The dog was still losing it though. He was jumping around and she wasn't able to control him. She had a flare-up, which he ignored. She got quite frustrated and then asked my children to leave the room. They did, and he finally calmed down. They came back in and he got excited again. The kids weren't comfortable, so they went to play and we had a conversation. Basically, I said if she can't control him, I don't want him in my house. She replied that he's a service dog and goes everywhere with her, so I'd essentially be banning her. I said that he was a garbage service dog, as he ignored her flare-up and wouldn't listen. She then blamed my kids, saying my daughter got him excited last time, and now he thinks that kids mean playtime. I told her that if her service dog can't ignore children while working, he's not really a service dog. She got upset and left, saying she was uncomfortable with me. Later on, my husband pulled me aside and asked me to apologize because I hurt her feelings. I said I didn't think an apology would be worth it because I'm not sorry. I meant what I said. He told me he understood and that it's a B-wordy move not to even try to apologize. She then texted me and said that he had a situation with a child when he was in training, but she is paying out the money to get him retrained. I don't know what the situation is, but I do feel bad. I think she was trying to use my kids to socialize them, and it hasn't worked, and I feel much worse. I haven't yet responded, because I do somewhat still stand by what I said, but I also freak out about making her feel so insecure. Am I the beehole? Hi OP, I'm gonna say you're not the beehole, and I agree with you, you shouldn't have to apologize, you didn't curse her out or anything like that, you just spoke facts. He's not a good service dog. Service dogs are supposed to be able to ignore things like food and children running around and just focus on their duty. Now, I've never had a service dog and I don't know anyone with a service dog, but I'm pretty sure if a service dog fails to catch the flare up or the thing they're designed to catch, they're a failure of a service dog, and she should look into getting another dog or doing what she's doing, getting it retrained, because she needs that dog to do its job and it's failing at its job. But I still don't think you should apologize, and it's not cool her blaming your children for that. A service dog is supposed to be able to ignore that type of thing. And she's trying to use your kids to train a dog. She's not certified to train a service dog, and I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it. Yeah, OP, I agree with you. Don't apologize. I don't think you're rude or anything like that. And it looks like she's waking up to what you're telling her because she's paying to get the dog retrained. Which I don't. Does she have to come out of pocket for that? Isn't a service dog provided by your health insurance? I don't know if you're in America or anything like that, or in a place that has better health insurance than America. Uh, but I don't know how that works. But yeah, OP, you don't have anything to apologize for. And the next one comes from Past Butterscotch 3182. Am I the beehole for announcing my pregnancy? A throwaway account for anonymity. I, a 28 female, am pregnant with my husband's baby, a 30-year-old male. I have a sister, a 30-year-old female, who has been trying to get pregnant for the past 5 years. This has resulted in 3 miscarriages and a stillbirth. When I found out I was pregnant, I made sure not to tell my sister, since she was grieving her stillborn, who has passed away around a year ago. I told my parents and husband's parents that, and they were overjoyed. Out of respect for my sister, I didn't have a baby shower or a gender reveal, or any big ceremony. Just a lunch where I announced the pregnancy to close friends and family, and we all agreed not to tell my sister until we felt like she was ready to know. Anyways, I am now 34 weeks pregnant and haven't seen my sister in over 6 months. She called me the other day and to tell me she was 3 months pregnant, and things have been going so well so far. I congratulated her, and she invited me to her house for dinner. I discussed this with my parents and husband, and we decided it was time to tell her. I went to her house for dinner this weekend, and when she let me in, she freaked out and asked if I was pregnant. And I said I was. She started sobbing. She was absolutely hysterical. Her husband took her to calm down, and we decided to leave. She texted me on Monday, saying that it was selfish that I was going to have my baby first, and my parents would have to be more focused on me than her. She accused me of being cruel, and getting pregnant just to upset her. She said she would ask our parents to choose between us. This was the last straw for me. This was my first pregnancy, and I wanted to do things like a baby shower and all. But I didn't because I knew it would hurt my sister. I called her selfish, a mean bee, and blocked her. Her husband called me to tell me she was inconsolable because her own sister was trying to upstage her and her baby. Our mom isn't taking sides, but my dad and husband are on my side. A few of my cousins reached out to me, calling me names, and it made me wonder if I'm in the wrong, so am I the beehole for announcing my pregnancy? Edit, my sister's been in therapy for the past couple of years. Hi OP, I see people in the comments saying you're the beehole, everyone's the beehole. I'm gonna go with your sister's the beehole, and she sounds kinda out of it. I'm glad she's getting therapy. And I don't know where your cousins are getting off calling you and saying you're the beehole. For what? Getting pregnant? You didn't get pregnant right after. You were pregnant before her. What is their deal? I would cut them out. Cut them out. They're idiots. As for your sister, she needs to get her shite together. She is acting insane and paranoid. Again, she's in therapy. I hope that does something for her. But she needs to understand that other people can get pregnant, no, and the world doesn't revolve around her, and no one has to choose sides. That is insane, telling him, oh, you have to choose between me or my sister. What? I wouldn't tolerate her nonsense. I would block her and just be done with her until her craziness goes away. Or she gets it figured out. Oh, and congratulations on having a baby. And you're a really good. I'm gonna say you're a good person because you forsook your baby shower. I don't have any love for gender reveal parties, but you gave that up too because you felt bad for your sister and understood what she was going through, and she still wants to act like this towards you. Ugh. And our final one comes from Throwaway 11153. Am I the beehole for refusing to share a room with my mom's 14-year-old brother? My mom's little brother, Alex, he's 14, is moving in with us. I don't really mind or care, as there's literally nowhere for him to go right now. But they want me, a 17-year-old female, to share a room with him. We have 3 rooms, mom and dad's room, my room, and a room in the basement. No one uses that room, so I assumed that's where he'd be sleeping. But Mom said no, because Alex is scared of the dark, and that specific room has no light. I told him to buy a lamp. She got mad and said he's not sleeping in the basement. I asked her why. He's 14, not 4. She just said that I'm being very difficult, and he's not going to sleep in there, so I need to get over it. I really don't want to share my room with a 14-year-old boy, and plus I have a boyfriend over a lot. I also don't even know him, and we've never met before either. It got really bad the night before Alex came. Mom kept talking about where they'd put the mattress, as if they had already decided, so I told her again that I really don't want him sleeping in my room. She looked angrier than usual and told me that she'll make me sleep in the room in the basement, and give him my room if I don't learn to cooperate. I told her that I don't care. I'm not going to let him in my room, and then I went in my room and locked the door. Sometime later, her and my dad asked me to open the door so they could put the mattress in, but I refused. Mom got really mad again and said I'm being extremely selfish. I told her I didn't care. I did the same thing tonight, even though Alex was there as well, and Mom isn't talking to me anymore. Dad said he's really disappointed in me as well, but I think he's just mad because they had to put the mattress in their room and that's where Alex slept. I refuse to budge on this though. I do feel a little bad. Still, he can totally sleep in the basement. They're making it difficult for themselves. Am I the b-hole? OP, I'm gonna say you're not the b-hole. You're a 17-year-old girl. Kids at a certain age need to have their own room to have their own privacy. What's going on with your parents? Why are they treating you this way? And why are they prioritizing, yeah, it's your mom's brother, but you're their child. They're supposed to protect you and keep you safe. And yeah, you're at the age where you need privacy. Same thing with him. He's 14. Why is a 14-year-old scared of the dark, man? And even if he's afraid of the dark, suck it up and like you said, buy him some lamps. Buy him some floodlights if he's afraid of the dark. Let him sleep under sun lamps. And you have a perfectly good basement. And no, you shouldn't have to give up your room because they're taking him in while they have a perfectly good room in the basement. Yeah, this one's really annoying me. So I went digging in the comments and I found this one. Successful Bath 1200 says, not the b-hole. You do not put teenage boys and girls together to sleep in the same room, especially if one of them is your uncle. I forgot that was your uncle. Make it quite clear that you will not be allowing your uncle to sleep in your room with you. Keep saying no and keep locking your door. I agree with Successful Bath. Something's up with your parents, man. They're acting really weird. This should be an obvious one, and tell your uncle to get in the basement. He's 14, for God's sake. It's just darkness. Get a lamp. Ugh. Yeah, OP, keep doing what you're doing and don't let them do this to you. This is a weird one. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.